been making too many videos, but it's better than when I did a video a day for like 50. My hair looks like trash, but that's okay because it's fake anyway, so it's not my hair, it's someone else's. But I'm still gonna only do the videos that I want to do, which is why my channel has been up for, what, 2 years now actively, and I still haven't had 100 subscribers, so don't worry, I'm not selling out or what. I just don't want to show this nail because it's broken. This is who I am, plus if you know me in person, you know I pretty much... my knee. Plus, if you know me in person, I do tell a lot of stories, like, because my life is so weird. I'm gonna start doing a series pretty soon on, like, stories from middle school, because in 7th and 8th grade, I actually kept a diary. And I wrote every single thing that happened every single school day because all the stuff that happened was literally so weird that I was like, I'm not gonna believe or remember this in, 5 years. So I'm gonna write it down because this actually happened and what? And now I'm going to use it for material for my channel. But today's story is not a funny middle school story. Again, this is inspired by another YouTuber. Maya Alana, who is one of my current favorite YouTubers, has a video from a couple months ago called Storytime, My Ex-Best Friends. And the point of it is saying reasons that she has had to cut people out of her life, which I, in recent years, mostly last year, have had to do as well. So I thought I'd do my own video on it because I have a lot of different experiences from her. In general, I don't have friends for more than 6 months, and I don't get super close to them because either they move away, they have different classes, we're not in a sport anymore, or they graduate. When I was in high school, that was what happened a lot, was I was friends with seniors and then they graduated. So I'm used to, I guess, having people cut out of my life, but not because of some big fight. It's because I just don't see them anymore. So for me, I have to be able to see people and, like, if you believe the love languages thing, physically touch people to feel close to them. Like, I give hugs a lot. I'll just chill with my head on somebody's shoulder, or, like, use them as a footrest because I'm a jerk. A lot of times I'll just stop being friends with people because I just don't see them anymore. And it's not like some huge blowout happened, it's just, okay, crap happens, you're gone now. But those people, I would say, if you ever are in the same place as them again, give it another chance if you miss them. I mean, they might be completely different then, but you might be too, and it might still work out. So that's one thing where it's like, yeah, people leave your life, but they can come back. If you have fights with people, kind of depends. A lot of times when I have fights with people, like, they can't handle it, and that's the end of the relationship. Like, I would get over it and try again, but they're like, no, I can't be friends with you. One guy, for instance, because of a fight we had, which was about something that he already knew about me, like, he had known it for the whole, 6 months at that point that we'd been friends. He just one day decided he didn't like it anymore. And he said, quote, "Don't talk to me, don't talk about me, don't tell anyone we were ever friends." And those people, I would say, probably don't give a second chance, because if they're not going to give you one, then you shouldn't give them one. Now, I'm not saying do everything to someone else that they did to you. I'm just saying they have something that they're insecure about, and you can't fix it for them. It's usually something political or religious, but one day they just decided they were uncomfortable with it. And I'm not the kind of like, you know what I believe if you ask me, but I'm not the kind of person to walk around and be like, oh, you're going to hell because of X, Y, and Z. Like, first of all, I think if you tell someone they're going to hell, you're worse than whatever they did. So there's that. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Most of my really, really close friends, I have almost completely opposite beliefs from, because they're people I can actually talk to. I hate small talk. I work in retail. If you have a situation like that where someone just out of nowhere decides they don't like you anymore, don't give them a second chance unless they really, really try, because that's something they need to work out before they can really be friends with anyone, because they need to be okay with disagreeing with people. That's something you need to learn how to do, because you're gonna disagree with somebody everywhere you go. Now, if it's a fight about something that came up that they didn't know about before, it really depends on how they react. Because if you get through the fight and then the next day you both apologize for whatever you said that was mean, or you come to an understanding, cool, no problem. But if they either keep insisting you're wrong, make little digs at it every time they get a chance, tell other people that you're both friends with, or even people you don't know, about how wrong you are, just stop talking to them. And yes, I've had that happen. I'm not making this up. People will tell other people that I don't even know things that I've said to try and get them to gang up on me. If you watched my last storytime video, I am not intimidated by people's size. I am not intimidated by a large number of people. There was an incident of some kind with this one girl. We never liked each other. We knew we didn't like each other, no big deal. But she decided to get a bunch of guys, most of whom were in football and were bigger than me, to kind of gang up on me. I don't know if that's a good term because all they did was walk up to me, but like to try and scare me. And I looked at her because she was standing with them. At least she actually showed up, but she was standing with them. And I go, it takes 12 of you for one of me. Again, at this point, I'm 5'2". I'm not scary. I weighed 115 pounds. Why did it take that many people just because one person had a problem with me? And it wasn't that I said anything behind her back. I said to her face, I don't like this. Like, I don't remember what the exact situation was. I think it was one particular instance, but I could be wrong. But I do know, because this is my personality, that I told her to her face, I don't like this. That's just how I am. And then the last thing is, if someone lies to you or someone you care about, no second chances. If... I'm not even going to say unless they apologize right away, because they could just be saying that because they realize that, what do you want? They might just be saying it right at that moment because they realize, crap, this is my only friend and I'm going to be alone if I don't. That doesn't mean they care about you and they feel bad. That just means they don't want to be alone. If you really care about a friendship, you will not hurt them like that. For instance, one of my friends, who I was friends with for, I want to say almost 7 years, was apparently lying about the kind of person he was the whole time. Toward the end of our friendship, he had several things happen, and at first I just kind of ignored them because I had my own stuff going on and they didn't really want to lose this one person who understood, because I would tell him what was going on in my life. But like, he, for example, went a ski resort with a friend in his parents' car. He was a minor and he didn't tell them where he was going. He just disappeared for a day and a half. I mean, there's teenage rebellion and all that, but you don't scare the living crap out of your parents and make them think you're dead. So, stop! He also apparently stole some people's phones that just left them at his work. Like, at my work we joke when people leave their phones, squatters' rights, but we'd never actually take it. We'd turn it into the security so they could find whoever owned it, and usually they come back. He stole 2 phones. 2, like 3 months apart. He one time decided to not go home and slept in our school's choir room and subsequently got suspended for 3 days. I don't even know how nobody noticed that he was still there. At that point, when he got suspended, I stopped being friends with him. I refused to talk to him. We were dating at the time. I dumped him. And then the next thing that happened was I was just chilling over the summer, and one day I got a Snapchat from someone I'd never met before saying she was his girlfriend and she wanted to ask me some questions about him because she knew we had been friends. And she wanted to know if he was lying to her, and I was like, oh great, here we go. One of the things he told her, among other lies, such as that being legally emancipated, which he was not, means that your legal age changes, which it does not. He told her his parents were dead, which they are not. Disgusting. I just don't know how to deal with it other than to stop talking to him. So if you know anybody who lies or commits crimes or is ungrateful for the people who gave them life, like, okay, if your parents are abusive, I get it, but I mean, there's someone out there who cares about you, and if you're ungrateful even for that person, I don't want to be friends with you. So those are my little additions to reasons to not be friends with people and reasons to decide whether they get a second chance.